As another controversy arises, so do my videos. So I played 1348 Ex Voto, so you don't have to. Don't worry, there's not a lot of us. I played the beta for this game, and then made 2 videos talking about it. Let's go over some of my predictions and recommendations. At the end of the video, I'll tell you one thing I actually adored about this game, but you have to get to the end. The first thing I said is about the glitching animations, so they're not bleeding into the environment. They fixed that. I predicted a very straightforward, boring plot. I was right. It has 3 plot phases switching between 3 different identical enemies, just with different skins. I predicted the combat was going to be boring, straightforward, of one-dimensional, the same 3 enemies every time. I was right. The same enemies you fight in the trailer is the same that you fight throughout the entire game. I predicted the game was going to have subversive writing, but not be woke. I was almost there. We're going to talk about the main character in a second, but the game definitely went that negative way. What I will say is it shows the violence of men and the negatives of church. It does show positive. I know I said her name wrong in the first 2 videos. Don't care. She's Edna to me. So Edna gets a male hero who had a friendship with her deceased father. So she herself, again, is definitely not woke. And they showed positive relations with men. They also showed positive relations with the church. At the end, I stand by my original rating, giving this game about a 2 out of 10. However, I want to say, it actually has a really dope ending. Let's watch it together, shall we?
I heeded to your last lesson well. All those months ago. In this madness. No matter how far we have fallen, we still remain. But at what cost to us?
What choice did I have? I had nothing. Would sacrifice everything.
This world has been unfair and cruel to you. I fear the price of all this, for you and me, is too high.
Very well. Oh, my noble Ayat. Would thou aid this damsel to rise?
Let's take a breath and analyze what we just watched. We were given a character whose entire purpose was to uphold honor, integrity, and for the best of her people. Most likely love interest. This is the part where usually in postmodern bullshit writing, she would acknowledge that her interest had such a hard life, therefore it was totally justified to her being a villainous, toxic, evil person. This is usually the part in writing where the authors are like, oh yeah, it's totally justified that you're a villainous, psychopathic, sociopath murdering people. But they don't. But our girl doesn't. She stands on business, on integrity, on honor, on faith, and she says, nah, you may have had a hard life, but that doesn't justify your villainous act. She stands on traditionalist themes and holds her accountable. She makes her pay for the lives she took and the innocence that did not deserve her wrath. And she ended it. That's how the game ends. She decides a life of solitude, most likely, in an effort to do what's best for her people and her land. That's based as fuck. So no, Etna is not woke. She is a well-written character that was put in a very much the wrong game. Still doesn't make up for the bad game, though. But she's pretty dope.